So nice to see you, sir.
Same with me also. We are disturbing you on
Thank you, sir. Not at all, sir. It's my pleasure to be there, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
If it would have been offline, I mean, it would have been, more learning experience for all of us, at least for myself and for the students, sir. Thank you, sir.
Shall we start, sir? Shall we start now?
Yes.
Happy evening to everyone connected here. It's my pleasure and privilege to welcome you all to the Cyber Jagrukta Diwas, the Cybersecurity Awareness Program, organized by the Department of Cyberspace Law and Justice, the School of Excellence in Law, Tamil Nadu, Dr. Ambedkar Law University. Let's face it, the future is now. We're already living in a cyber society. We need to stop ignoring it or pretending that it's not affecting us, said Catherine Neville. Such is the importance of cybersecurity in this ever-evolving world. Privacy, like eating and breathing, has become one of life's basic requirements, and I'm sure you'll all agree with me. Today's seminar is one of the series of programs organized to create awareness about cyber crimes and cybersecurity, as it's the right time and the right avenue to discuss, explore, and learn about the cyber world, its branches, and its consequences in future. With this introduction, I now invite Ms. Radhika, Assistant Professor, School of Excellence in Law, to deliver the welcome address. Please, ma'am.
Good evening, everyone. A warm good evening to everybody present here. DEEPA ma'am, I welcome you on behalf of Tamil Nadu Dr. Ambedkar Law University and Department of Cyberspace Law and Justice. Many are yet to join because our students last her just now it got over. They're on the way to join, ma'am. So we are expecting them to join very shortly. And I also welcome our Honorable Vice Chancellor, sir, Dr. SANTHOSH sir, our Registrar, our own Registrar, Dr. RANJIT Abraham, sir, another head of the departments, deans of various heads, Dr. Balaji sir, Dr. Sharwani ma'am, Dr. Harita ma'am, Dr. Bhuvneshwari ma'am, and Dr. Kumadratna ma'am, who I welcome everybody here. And also I welcome our beloved students who are there waiting for this special lecture. They're asking me right from the morning when it will commence. So they're on the way to join. I welcome each and everybody here, and I also specially welcome our research scholars. In short notice, they're joining and they're waiting for this lecture. And I don't want to take much time of DEEPA ma'am. I think DEEPA ma'am will be giving the privilege of welcoming her in a virtual stage very soon. Ma'am, we can expect in offline stage too, ma'am. I think we will get your dates very soon. So without taking much time of her, let me give the virtual space to DEEPA ma'am. I welcome you once again, ma'am. Over to you, Shanmati.
Thank you, ma'am. Today we have with us a very eminent personality, Ms. M. DEEPA Manickam, who is an assistant professor from TNNLU Trichy. She completed her BA from APA College Palani, securing first rank, and LLB from Government Law College Trichy, where she bagged 5 gold medals that included University first rank and the Honorable Justice Bhagwati Gold Medal. After which, she was awarded the most prestigious Nani A. Palkiwala Gold Medal for securing the university first rank in her LLM, specializing in cyber law and cyber security in the year 2015. Ms. Deepa started her teaching career in July 2015 as an assistant professor at TNNLU. She has also delivered special lectures on cyber laws and digital evidence to senior civil judges organized by the Tamil Nadu State Judicial Academy. Apart from this, she served as an associate editor for a book on banking services organized by SOEL, Chair of Excellence on Consumer Law and Jurisprudence, in association with the Ministry of Consumer Affairs, Food and Public Distribution, Department of Consumer Affairs. We're very happy to have you with us, ma'am. I now invite you to deliver the keynote address.
Sir, with your permission, may I go ahead?
Yes, you can.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, Shanmati, and thank you, Radhika ma'am. It was a good introduction. I don't know if I really deserve all of these, but thank you so much for such nice words. It's my honor and privilege to be here. I thank our respected Vice Chancellor, sir, Registrar, sir, and esteemed faculty members and my dearest students. And I'm really honored to introduce myself as a PhD scholar of Tamil Nadu National Law University. I am doing on cyber law itself. So that adds, I mean, more privilege for myself to complete to extend such words in this lecture, because I have chosen a topic on cybercrime, a contemporary perspective. So I've been reading consistently. So I'm here to give you a few words through a presentation. So before beginning, let me tell you a few things. See, I've structured my presentation in such a way, because as my topic is cyber crimes in India, a contemporary perspective. Let me make it as a contemporary perspective. And if it is a contemporary perspective, I was there already giving a lecture on it. I mean, on the same topic, but I need to and rework on the same topic again and again, because day after day and month after month, there are umpteen number of cyber crimes that are happening and that are unimaginable. When I say you a word called as ficto-sexual relationship or ficto-sexual marriage or cross-dimensional marriage, that's a question mark. Like, what is this? We are now only now getting adapted to the term called as live-in relationship, but Japanese or or the various nationals have crossed those boundaries and have reached to a different zone or different sphere, I should say. So having said this, I'm going to share my presentation. So I was saying that, I mean, as I was saying a short while ago, my presentation would really focus for the cyber law students. I'll be here and there giving you certain cyber law books as well. You can take note of it. And also for any of the criminal law students, if you're here, it will be useful. Or commerce students, like few of the aspects of personation, impersonation crime, banking law crimes, e-banking crimes, I'll be covering up. So you can take a note of it. Just a minute, let me share the presentation. Is my screen visible? Thank you, sir.
Yes.
So thank you, Srimati. So this is the topic which I was saying it to you. So before beginning, can you just tell me who is he and why is he on the news in recent times? I'll have my chat box open. You are free enough to chat with me. You can do it privately or you can leave it to everyone. I'll not reveal names if you do not want to. And if you have unavoidable questions in mid of my presentation, you can really stop me and ask me, clarify the doubt then and there. And then I have planned for 35 to 40 minutes of lecture. And the last 10 to 15 minutes, I'll be reserving it for, thank you, Gayatri. I'll be reserving it for question and answer session. And there you can ask your questions if you really have reserved it for Q&A. Thank you so much. Gayatri Akshay has stated it is Elon Musk. Why is he on news? Elon Musk, we all knew it because he is the richest person in the world right now. That I agree. Why was he on news? What's the reason? Even today, even now he is on news. What's the reason? 3 days back he was on news. Anything that you can connect with? Very good. Thank you. Madhumita had stated he bought Twitter recently. Rifa, thank you. Very good. So, what made all of us to be more concerned towards why and in what way when Elon Musk gets Twitter? What are the pros and cons? Why are we so concerned? The reason is once he is, got this Twitter or this bought this Twitter, everyone is so concerned about what is the new CEO or this new owner will give for talk on free speech. He gave a talk on free speech. So he was stating about I'm not going to recollect those terms. Hope you would have read it. The only one question that's very important is from his talk on free speech, the inferences, will he be charging for commercial Twitter accounts? That's the question. Okay, that's the question. Because people, business accounts, business holders had taken aback when he had given such a statement on free speech. That's the reason why he was on news. Yes, he bought Twitter recently, and there are so many pros and cons that we can discuss, even and deliberate even for many hours. Now, again, there's one more question. When he has bought Twitter, what made me to bring this particular picture to all of you? Because we are all connected everywhere. We are all connected. Okay. There's some person speaking. Sahitya, can you please mute yourself? I mean, I'm unable to continue. Thank you. So, as I was just saying, we're all connected together with the advancing technologies. Hope I'll move to my next slide. So, advancing technologies like, artificial intelligence, robotics, everything had made all of us to rethink and revisit. Just a minute, I'm sorry. Yeah, this one. Okay, let me pass it here. So we all had to rethink and revisit or, have a glance at all of the news that are, published daily. Just have a look at this introduction, which I wanted to give through the theory given by Mr. Lawrence Lessig. Lawrence Lessig had given a theory called as pathetic dot theory. So this is the book which I'm referring to. The book is called as Code version 1 and Code version 2.0. Okay, so this is the book. The recent book is by Lawrence Lessig, Code version 2.0. He has stated code is law. Okay, so I'm not discussing anything on, the traditional or the conservative perspectives of law. As per Lawrence Lessig, he has stated code is law. Code is law in the sense we are all living online. We are all living on the World Wide Web. We are all living the so-called cyberspace where anonymity prevails. So he states that just look at the picture. The dot in mid. Let me annotate it. The dot in mid is called. Is us, is all of us. Okay, the pathetic dot is all of us, which means say that's a human being where we're all forged or we're crushed with all of these four elements which Lessig states through this theory. One is norms. I should say norms. We are all supposed to follow the norms and go with law. Law says that the legislature or the executive, the legislature will give it to us, executive will implement the same. And go for marketplaces. They talk all about cyberspace or all of the sectors of cyberspace, I can say. The last one is architecture. When I go with architecture is otherwise called as code. Okay, slash code. Code is nothing but law, where Lessig points it out on the architecture by stating that the number of firewalls you have, the number of cyber security features you have, you will be tightened, you'll be protected. So with all of those four elements, we are getting crushed. The human being is getting crushed. I mean, I can say it is cyber organism, I can say it as a netizen. We are all crushed. So Lessig states that if you have an advancing technology like artificial intelligence, you will have to keep it separate, not supposed to have with all of these elements and get crushed by all of these elements. So Lessig has rightly quoted that we are living in a world which is code, and code is law. Everything is law. Because we are so concerned when Elon Musk gets Twitter, or when we are okay. We are so much concerned. Just a minute, I've opened my chat box. Sorry. So we are so much concerned, when IT rules 2021, by May 9th, when Supreme Court hears all the petition. The reason being, it gives a good tight for, or good strength for the government in order to protect all of us from the intermediaries, right? That's 2021 rules, intermediary guidelines and code of ethics rules 2021. So we are also concerned about it. So with this introduction, with this pathetic theory introduction by Lawrence Lessig, I would like to move further. So my just note the name of the author. Okay, so here is the time for some stats. So I have brought the stats. This stat, I have brought in to say to you. Whenever I say cyberspace, it's all about the term called as computer. The computer is everything. Hope you all know. So Information Technology Act and US Information Technology Act explicitly excludes only two things. One is handheld calculators and typewriters. Except that, everything is computer. Your mobile phone is a computer. Your tablet is a computer. The other smart gadget which you handle is set of computer, or Amazon Alexa is a computer, Echo Dot is a computer, because it records it. Amazon Alexa had recorded a murder that had happened in US, and that was used in judicial proceeding, as evidence, because it has recorded the audio as what has happened. So everything is computer. And having this in mind, just look at the stat. I want to tell it to you that with this 8 billion population in the world, we have 6 billion mobile phone users and 5 billion internet users all over the world. And I wanted to talk on top 5 countries social media users in 2020 and 2021. Look at the 5 countries in 2020: China, India, Indonesia, United States, and Brazil. And recently in 2021, China and India had reserved this, had occupied the same ranks, whereas United States had occupied the third rank, followed by Indonesia and Brazil. So that's the important reason why I had to bring this statistic. India has so much of, I can just look at the number, 350 million of users, both social media users, which includes mobile users and computer users, where they're going to have uh, uh, they're exposed to, they're vulnerable to so many unethical things that happen online. And even just quoting on the cyberspace market, $6.4 billion was invested in Indian AI market. Artificial intelligence market is, there are various kinds of artificial intelligence, from, genuine artificial intelligence and false artificial intelligence. Like, there are various categories of it. So right from the chatbot and right from the robot, there are various kinds of, at the various stages where we can use artificial intelligence. So India has invested a lot on it, which means we are already we are advancing, and we have already advanced so far. Okay, at least until 2020 we have advanced so far. And in upcoming years we will be advancing, because I can give you an example of pandemic shows it a very clear cut example. I hope I can even move to the next slide showing you NCRB report. Just a minute. Yeah, okay, I'll just talk about it. When you just have a look at it, yeah, this NCRB 2020, it has already stated, just look at it. 2019 there was 16.2, and 2020 it had raised to 0.2, that is 16.4. And I have just focused on computer related offenses. Computer related offenses under section 66 have increased to 60.9 percentage when compared with the previous year NCRB report. I have not concentrated on the various other crimes like sextortion or cyber pornography or impersonation or any other financial attack or ransomware attack or any other e-commerce crimes. Nothing. I had not gone any in depth of it. For more reference, please refer to NCRB report volume 1 and volume 2, particularly table 9b. Okay, I was just reading it under NCRB 2020 volume 2. So now I wanted to move to this particular slide, which talks about cybercrime and cyber contravention. So I have stated so far that why it is important to discuss this topic, and what is cyberspace and its anonymity, and how far we have reached with the statistics and also with the NCRB report. Now it's time to understand that very two important elements, that is cybercrime and cyber contraventions. If you ask me, yeah, I know cybercrime, but I'm not sure of cyber contravention. A very simple way to understand is cybercrime is of criminal nature, cyber contravention is of civil nature. If you ask me, are there any acts which will constitute cyber contravention or of cyber civil nature? Yes, check section 43 and 43A. It talks about low intensity cyber attack, or we can even talk about cyber thoughts to some extent. Okay, so cyber contraventions, whenever you read on it, it will always be cyber crime versus cyber contravention, which will be 43 versus 66. And that's the reason prior to 2008 even we had a section for hacking, right? So there was a term explicitly mentioned called hacking, but then we had to remove in 2008 amendment, okay, because we have wanted to make it as completely wide and broader, so we had to give the title as for section 65 as computer related offenses, okay. I'm sorry, 66 as computer related offenses. So there are two things, cyber crime and cyber contravention. So today I'll be discussing both of this, fusing up these two concepts, and I'll be telling you how technology has developed so far uh, to cope up with section 43 3a 43a and section 66. Okay, let me stop it here. This particular slide I had just brought in the various recent attacks that had happened recently. Indian pharma industry had seen just a minute. Yeah, Indian pharma industry had seen ransomware attack in 2021, and look at the report given by Checkpoint Company. Checkpoint Company is a good, tech company which from day to day gives so much of stats and so much of reports. Please look at the point. It says 845% jump in cyber attacks on mobile devices in 2021, which is unimaginable. It's close to 1,000. You cannot even tell the total number of rate of increase of cyber crimes, and that too on mobile devices. It's very very easy, and it's more vulnerable. When you just look at the cyber attack on Air India, data leak attack of 4.5 million users. This is again on their sensitive information, which was leaked, which is again, I wanted to quote section 43 over here. And just have a look at all of these new cyber crimes that had happened. CNAME, bug bounty radar, pond, DDoS, upstocks breach. I'll just concentrate on pond and upstocks breach. Just look at pond, PWNED, which just says, if you just go to Google, when you type pond, there'll be so many questions. Have I been pwned? Okay, so pond is nothing but have I been compromised? Like, I'll give an example. I've been pawned on, say, Microsoft Edge, which means someone has hacked my Microsoft Edge account and I have compromised my certain personal information or sensitive data. Okay, so have I been pawned was very sensitive and very sensational question across a World Wide Web on have I been compromised? Okay, so we are not even sure whether we have been attacked, or we have been hacked, etc. Moving to upstocks breach. Upstocks breach says that it's a very reputed broking company which had compromised almost 75 percentage of their subscribers data. Right. So again, there's a question of data protection bills. I need to talk about Sri Krishna committee. There's much deliberation needed for data protection laws, which I'm not going to do it right now. So have look at all of these recent crimes, including ransomware attack, which is, which is a financial crime as well. Now, let me just move to the next point. Okay, so I have just gotten this slide, which is a very basic, slide on the categories of the cyber crimes against individual, property, society, and organization. I have brought in different attacks over here. So it says cyber culling, sexting, child porn, squatting, internet time theft, DOS, DDoS, warfare, webjacking, etc. If you ask me what are these, I'll tell you in a very simple way. These are the recently developed crimes. I don't say recently developed in the sense in the past 1 month or the past 6 months. Recently developed, at least, it was getting developed at least for the past 3 to 4 years, okay? Because there was only after mobile devices, smartphones, or we had started getting all mobile data free, or so much mobile data pack to get used in our mobile, etc. We had started with facing different crimes which we were trying to name. Some of them, like sexting is a best example that I can give it to you. Sexting is, you'll be texting, normal text, whatever text it might be, a WhatsApp chat or a normal chat. There'll be an element of sex in it. Okay, so this is usually, I can say, example of sexual harassment, which can also be cyber, sextortion. Sextortion is sex plus extortion, and cyber bullying, and people, I mean, there are so many women or so many girl children commit suicide because they cannot tell it to their parents that, there's some person who has got my, nude pictures or my obscene pictures, and he's blackmailing me, and he wants some, ransom, or he wants some, any good for exchange. So they commit suicide. So this is a very important thing, a very important cases to be discussed for sexting, culling, cyber pornography, internet time theft, which is not a very recent one, which was in existence at least for the past 20-25 years since the emergence of our Information Technology Act 2000. Nowadays, we do internet time theft in a very different way using artificial intelligence software, right? Moving next to DOS is denial of service. I'll just focus only on warfare here. Cyber terrorism and warfare, I would want to draw attention of all of you to Russia-Ukraine war crisis, where there are umpteen number of hackers who had hacked a Russian system or important servers, and they stated that you need to end war with Ukraine, or they had stated that if you really go against Russia, Russia might enforce cyber warfare against all of us. So people are so scared. Why is that? And what is that? In future, we're not going to stand in, the so-called third world war, but we will be doing it in the different name called as cyber terrorism or cyber warfare. Cyber warfare is a world in itself. Or, I mean, yeah, it needs a months of deliberation to, explain it and to discuss the pros and cons. Understand to this extent, yes, we will be reaching at least in near future in cyber warfare if we do not follow cyber hygiene, or if the government has not safely taken any guidelines or steps to patch the loopholes of in the cyber security scope. Moving next to webjacking and salami attacks, usually it happens like, if there's a an employee who is forced to resign, if he knows all, if he's a techie, and if he knows how to, if he knows some sensitive personal information, he'll start taking, some amount from all of the other employees. Like say, it's like 2 rupees from one account, and similarly he'll take 2 rupees from all 2,000 employees' accounts. Okay, that's salami attack, which is where I can recollect, the dialogue from Onion movie, right? So there was a dialogue which says, 1 5 paise, if it is taken or if it is stolen from one person, it's not a crime, but if it is stolen from 500 people, it's a crime. Okay, so I just wanted to give that example. Moving next to section 65. So I've come to section 65 verses 43, and also 66 verses 43, which is obvious. This herein, you have, I mean, Puttaswamy judgment in front of you. You have data theft case, Travelocity case in front of you. You have section 66 hacking. I wanted to cover up only one advanced technology on mosquito drone. Now, mosquito drone is not that great advanced technology because it has started its work at least for the past 4 to 5 years. But the recently developed part of the mosquito drone is that, I'm sorry. So they use it for spying, they use it for infusing poison. Just look at it. It does not even look like a mosquito. I mean it does not look like a robo, right? So or a drone, it exactly looks like a mosquito. It has an injection or a pinpoint in it where it can insert poison, or it can suck some blood from you, and it can transmit to some other person, or it can collect it as a collect all necessary details. It can record, it's in audio record, video record, and everything can be done through mosquito drone. Even drones can do it. That too, mosquito drone is so much dangerous. And having said about mosquito drone, USA is famous in having this mosquito drone crimes, and India also, they have started developing mosquito drone crimes. But when I talk about mosquito drone crimes, I'm it's usual for me to talk about Shreya Singhal or Puttaswamy judgment. When I focus on Puttaswamy judgment talks about right to privacy. Just look at the at least when you just look at Aadhaar judgment, look at the dissenting opinion, given by Justice Dr. D.Y. Chandrachud. He has poetically written those 550 pages in Aadhaar judgment, and he has stated clearly, we want technology, but we cannot have technology to kill us, right? So in the same way, when you have this mosquito drone developed for army purposes, for defense services, that's well and good, but not for all of us to sacrifice our right to privacy, which we have already done enough by sharing our mail ID, sharing our phone number, sharing our Aadhaar number, sharing our bank account. We have done enough already. So mosquito drone is a recently developed one with a lot of technological advancements in the mosquito drone crimes. And this red echo is that the thermal power corporation had stated about a red echo crime. Crime in the sense it's an instance which can connect it with India, which is a very a recent crime as well. Moving now next to cyber stalking or cyber bullying. Sorry, it goes with very different names. Okay, so cyber stalking, cyber bullying, cyber sexual harassment, or cyber harassment, or sexting, etc. Just look at the picture that I have given. This picture, is the example of sexting or cyber stalking, because eventually everything starts with normal texting, and then it goes to sexting, and then it goes to sextortion, because you know what is extortion, right? That goes sextor, it goes to the extent of sextortion, then it becomes harassment. Initially it will be bullying, and later it becomes harassment, and later it becomes any of the crimes. It might be murder, or it might be suicide. Okay, it depends on facts and circumstances of a particular case. 66C of Information Technology Act talks about all of these. And sexting, when I say about all of it, it's not about that you do it on media, any of the reputed, digital media platform, or, your normal text messages, etc. I wanted to cover up here on fun bots, or just a minute, fun bots, or the digisex, which is famous right now to have to do the crime of cyber stalking or cyber harassment. Please have a look at the Gatebox company. Go visit the website of Gatebox company, and various other companies in various in different nations. They have or different countries, they have got this sex doll. We call it as a robo sex doll, or fun bots, in whatever name you want to discuss about it, you can call it. And if you ask me what's the what's the important part in discussing about it, cyber stalking, harassment, and all, it was in existence, but only through these platform. Now it's in existence, or it has developed so far to an extent that it is using artificial intelligence, machine learning, and robotics. So such extent that if you want a robo, if you want to get a robo, it will give you a message. It can it can give you what should I say, it can give you the companionship which you are in need of. Like if you are a man, if you want a girlfriend, it can give you that soothing effect. You can change the color of the hair, you can change the style of the face, you can change the the there are other customizing options that are available for various sex robots that they use, digi sex robot that they use in various companies. Have a look at that particular website, clearly talks about what are you in need of. That's a pure commercial platform. And there's a can you imagine, there's a application from Play Store which is available, which will talk to you, as a girlfriend or as a boyfriend. It'll it is nothing but eventually, right? Eventually your conversation is being recorded, and eventually it might lead to any of the threats. It might lead to monitoring. That's very important, right? It might lead to data destruction. Just look at it, whatever I have given. Data destruction is you cannot, because you have allowed all of these when you are saying that, terms and conditions, when you are downloading that particular application, say Funbot application. So it says so many things and you are not even sure like what are the, whether it had introduced any computer contaminant into your system, computer per se, which includes everything. So we are not at all sure on it. So Funbots or digisex, it clearly violates privacy. It clearly, violates human rights perspective. That's very important here now. And India has not reached to, so I mean that extent to receive these fun bots or digisex, but we have started getting into, okay. Unlike New York Times had quoted about Japan and Thailand, where they had started getting these fun bots. India has not been noticed that great for, but yes, we have started, doing it buying it. I mean, sex robots. Ultimately, you'll end up, in any of the harassment crimes. Just look at this cheating by impersonation. So I've given 66D, which talks about phishing to ransomware attack, and there are various kinds of phishing, and you can introduce computer contaminant, and through, I just wanted to talk about Swift code fraud over here. The Swift code fraud is, of course, the great example is Nirav Modi fraud is a Swift code fraud, which they had, they changed the numbers and alphabets in the Swift code from Punjab National Bank Mumbai to Punjab National Bank in the foreign country. That's a Swift code fraud. When you ask me what's the new element here, there are umpteen number of artificial intelligence and robot technology that are being used only for financial crimes, only to perform financial crimes. That's how impersonation happens. That just look at the, the point that I've given on the left end. 5 billion records leaked in 2021. Atlas VPN had stated it. We go for VPN, virtual private network, only for, confidential communication. But 5 billion records have been compromised, which is unimaginable, right? So it's a very simple thing. Cheating by personation has reached to such extent that, you know, you cannot avoid it. We are completely vulnerable to it, provided if we follow cyber security or cyber hygiene in it. I'll tell you what is cyber hygiene at the end of my presentation. So impersonation or cheating by personation under section 60 has reached to so much extent where it had started developing, or adopting so many technologies within it. This one, violation of privacy, 66E deals about it, of course, versus section 43A. When you just look at this picture, I had already stated about this term called as fictosexual people. If you just have a look at it, I've given about it. And whoever is already, do you know what is in the picture? Maybe it looks monotonous so much. Can anyone just send it in the chat box? Is there any connection that you want to give with the picture? What does this picture talk about? What does this picture talk about? Any clues or anything that you have come across news? It has already happened in 2018 itself. That's not a recent news. But yes, it was a clear-cut violation of human rights, etc. Anything that you wanted to say? Maybe should I give you a clue? This is the marriage. This is part and parcel of their marriage ceremony. And if you ask me where is the girl, that hologram is a girl. Okay, let me say you the answer. This marriage is called as cross-dimensional marriage. Cross-dimensional marriage is it's it's something more than LGBTQ. It's not about lesbian marriage, it's not about gay marriage, it's about cross-dimensional marriage. It has crossed so many dimensions, right? It's a way, we call, let me just put it in the chat box, or let me even annotate it here through the text message here. See, I hope you all can see it. This bot is called as, I'll type it here, Hatsune Miku. Hatsune Miku is a hologram. Hologram is a anime character. Anime character is it's a gaming character. Okay, so this man, he is called as Akihiko Kondo, who got married to this. Who actually had fallen in love with this Hatsune Miku, a hologram, and he got married to her in 2018. And if you ask me, what is their current status, and New York Times had recently given a focus on this news, particularly saying that it's so upset. I mean, it's so upsetting to know that this Akihiko Kondo, a fictosexual man who married Hatsune Miku, cannot converse with Hatsune Miku because this company, the company is Gatebox company, which had issued this, this hologram, had stopped the audio voice, option in all of these characters. Okay, so now he says that I feel really bad that I'm unable to converse with my wife because he was the only person who got officially married. Please go look at the videos or the read at blogs, etc. So Houston and Vancouver, sex robo brothels are also developing to such an extent where it's unimaginable for all of us to put a whole set of regulation within this. I mean, within this sphere of understanding, that is violation of privacy, because artificial intelligence, or say even this cross-dimensional marriage or sex robo brothels, have reached to some extent. I mean, to that extent where it's unimaginable for all of us to regulate it with any of the legal or any of the statutes. And that's the reason why US had to come up with a legislation called as artificial intelligence legislation 2017 itself, because they are developing technologically and they understood how artificial intelligence efficiently play a role in all of the sectors. Moving ahead, just a minute, I need to stop on a date. Yeah, I've done. Okay, this is a very simple one. I had already stated to you about Amazon's Alexa or Echo Dot. This is a smart home threat. In our home, we do not have a simple mobile phone like a keypad phone, a simple, the so-called, washing machine, which we call it a semi-automatic, etc. Everything in our home is automatic, including TV, fridge, washing machine, ACs, and even all of these smart home, accessories like lights, bulbs, and fans, etc. Everything you can connect it through your mobile device. And there comes the threat. We are so much vulnerable. I mean, we become so much vulnerable to that extent. I mean, which depends, or which is equally proportionate to the amount of smart home gadgets that you have at your home. Okay, just don't say me like, why are you saying this? I have all smart home gadgets. Yes, good to have it, but it's up to all of us how to regulate it. Okay, we should tightly secure it. You can read the countermeasures even given here, because Rambus, I have even given the source. You can even read about it. The countermeasures and the threats were given by Rambus website. They have given clearly on the countermeasures, after which we have to be very, very careful. Again, this smart home threats, like I can say all financial frauds, of course, encryption decryption fraud, and access control, a loss of your personal identity. Okay. And again, connecting it with privacy, section 43, 43A, and section 66E, we will have to, compromise, various things through the smart gadgets which we have at home. And having this, the second last crime which I'll be discussing is cyber terrorism. I'm not going to discuss the structure, just to understand it. People feel that Taj Hotel attack in India was a cyber terrorism attack. No, it's a wrong perception. Cyber terrorism attack should happen from a computer to a computer through a computer. That's a simple understanding. Okay. When you ask me, as Taj Hotel attack, Ajmal Kasab had a various gadgets, right? Satellite phones, and it's a non-trackable phones, etc. Simply possessing the gadgets or technical gadgets does not amount to that crime as a cyber terrorism. Okay, so you will have to intentionally penetrate, like from one computer to another computer. You will have to intentionally penetrate or introduce any computer contaminant or do denial of service attack, which should threaten, just understand this, which should threaten the I can say unity, integrity of the particular state itself. Public order should be threatened, and it should it should give the feel of terror in people. The ultimate punishment given here in information technology is imprisonment for life. And India is the first country to define and give punishment for cyber terrorism. And if you ask me, are there any cases? The first case in India which happened last year, cyber terrorism, which happened on INS Vikrant, where INS Vikrant, it was, there were so many, computers were stolen, and so many servers were attacked, and NIA is probing into this national security because there are a lot of national secrets, and we call it as CII, that is critical information infrastructure, which have been stored on this INS Vikrant server, and NIA is probing into it. And the very first case registered in India on cyber terrorism, and many more at least in future to have on cyber terrorism. I mean, this is the last one which I wanted to talk about. I mean, time is 18:17. I'll take not more than 5 to 6 minutes. Uh, Dark web and child porn. I'll be failing on my part if I do not discuss on child porn, that too on cyber child pornography. Please, I mean, if you ask me what about pornography, then 67A discusses about it. Why don't you discuss it? 67B, that is child pornography, has increased to such an extent where concentration and emphasis should be laid only on child pornography, and having the vulnerability of this particular sector, or this children in our mind. Only child pornography is the, at least according to me, only child pornography or cyber child pornography is the particular concept which is to be discussed, and the government is also doing it. Government has taken step, at least in 2021 Rajya Sabha meeting, they have stated that child pornography should be curbed. They have, even now, if you just a simple example I'll give. If you upload a video on YouTube, say you are uploading simple video of 2 minutes video of nature, it just says you, are you uploading it under, I mean, any of this child, pornography or pornography, kindly report it, or you'll not even be allowed to do it. And if you ask me, how do they know it? There lies artificial intelligence software where they can track you, track just with the motion of the videos. They'll track that is child pornography, and it gets reported automatically, right? And this child pornography, I'll have to start from pornography, decency, vulgarity, sex, nudity, and there are so many things which are, again, I can say, which needs a lot of deliberation, which are ambiguous terms, which might be decent for me, might not be to be responsible in noting down or in pointing out any of the child pornography, at least image or videos that we come across. We should be reporting it to the government, which I'll be showing you the the helpline numbers, etc. Just moving ahead to the next one. So this one. So I just wanted to talk about the legal regulatory framework. If you ask me, just a minute. Okay. If you ask me what are the legal and regulatory framework, I'd love to talk from Magna Carta Information Technology Act. I mean, Magna Carta for human rights violation, and ICCPR, ICSCR, Information Technology Act. Please have a look on information technology rules, because people are there who say that Information Technology Act is not at all efficient to handle any of the cyber crimes. I agree. From 2000 till 2008, it was not efficient because we did not even have any of the sections for cybercrime. But yes, we had given it or inserted in 2008 amendment, trying to make it, they've enlarged the scope as, large as possible to accommodate various crimes within it. If you have struggle in understanding Information Technology Act, kindly refer to Information Technology rules and all of the notification passed by MeitY and DEITY, that is Ministry of Information Technology, time to time. And the current Information Technology Rules 2021 Code of Ethics plays a very efficient role. Please have a look at it and also have a just watch keenly on this. May 9th, the petition which will be heard by Supreme Court on IT rules 2021. I can quote US Future Artificial Intelligence, the act in itself called as Future Act, okay, Artificial Intelligence Act 2017. I can quote FISMA, I can quote Homeland Security Act of USA, I can quote UK Data Privacy Act, I can quote, of course, I should go talk about CCC, that is Cybercrime Convention of 2000 from Budapest. So Budapest Convention talks about so many, beautiful provisions. Unfortunately, we do not follow it. Like extradition is a beautiful provision, which it talks about it, where you can easily extradite a person, because anonymity and extradition is a two thing which we're struggling. And anonymity is, somewhat we have I mean, we have handled it efficiently, but yes, no, at least for the extradition part, we'll have to fight for it. And all of the cases, there are, earlier times there were no cases, but nowadays there are, umpteen number of cases on cyber law. You can have a, close look on it. And just only after Shreya Singhal and Puttaswamy, we had realized that there's something called as, cyber law, and that needs I mean, that needs a lot of emphasis on. This is the, the has a helpline number which I was saying about, 155260, along with cybercrime.gov.in, which is HTTPS. You can just contact them to report it, I mean, reporting it. This is Tamil Nadu Grievance Redressal Officer Sri Shankar, sir, I mean IGP, where you can give complaint to or to report to. Nodal officer is Mr. Saroj Kumar. I have just snipped it from the website of Tamil Nadu government. You can just have a, look at it. Now, I just have a quick 2 minutes. Um, Okay. Um, Ranjit sir, I'll just take quickly 5 minutes, sir. Cyber security and cyber hygiene part is the last thing which I wanted to discuss about. Cyber hygiene is nothing but, you know, uh, during the pandemic, even now we follow so much hygiene, right? Like we understood the meaning of what is hygiene, and cyber hygiene is nothing but how, in what way you are, maintaining hygiene for your gadgets, right? How are you maintaining the trying to patch up the loopholes, or of the at least the cyber security part in your gadgets. That's cyber hygiene. Okay, time to time MeitY publishes a small handbook on cyber hygiene. They say that these are all the things that you will have to have: strong passwords, strong, you should not reveal any account numbers, passwords, etc. And they talk about how financial crimes happen, e-commerce crimes especially, and cyber pornography, how to avoid it. So they do it. So kindly follow cyber hygiene. And the last part is, I hope I have a a small video to be played, which I do not have it here. I'll stop it. I'll share it. That's a 2 minutes video. Hope I get to. Um, I mean, I wanted all of you to just to watch it. Just a 2 minutes video. I hope the screen is visible and it's also audible. Just a
பிக்ஸ் அனுப்புனியே எதா ஆச்சா? நான் தானே கேட்குறேன். ஒஸ்ட் நீ.
ஓகே அனுப்புறேன், ஆனா பாத்துடா. அனுப்புற பொண்ணு அனுப்புற பொண்ணு அனுப்புற பொண்ணு பூச்சாண்டி பாத்துடுவா, ஊர குட்டி காட்டிடுவா, பயப்புரண்டு ஒதுங்கிடுவா. பாத்துக்க கண்ணு பாத்துக்க கண்ணு பாத்துக்க கண்ணு.
இதத்தானங்க நெட்லயும் பண்றீங்க. நெட்ல ஒரு போட்டோவோ வீடியோவோ ஷேர் பண்ணிட்டோம்னா அதை என்ன பண்ணாலும் ஃபுல்லா அழிக்க முடியாது. அது யாரு கைக்கெல்லாம் போகும்னு தெரியாது. சோ யாரு கேட்டாலும் நல்லா ஒரு தடவைக்கு 10 தடவை யோசிக்க. ஐயோ
நேர்ல செய்ய மாட்டேன்னு நான் நெட்ல செய்ய மாட்டேன். நெட்ல செய்ய மாட்டேன். நெட்ல செய்ய மாட்டேன். நேர்ல செய்ய மாட்டேன்னு நான் நெட்ல செய்ய மாட்டேன். நெட்ல செய்ய மாட்டேன். நெட்ல செய்ய மாட்டேன்.
கண்ணியம்மா பணத்தை சேர்த்து கண்ணியம்மா பணத்தை சேர்த்து பத்திரமா போட்டு போட்டு ஊரு ஃபுல்லா கள்ளச்சாவி கொடுக்கிற அங்கிள் கொடுக்கிற அங்கிள் கொடுக்கிற அங்கிள். பூச்சாண்டி பாத்திருவான், பணத்தை எல்லாம் சுருட்டிடுவான், நடு ரோட்டில நிறுத்திடுவான். ஆபத்து அங்கிள் ஆபத்து அங்கிள் ஆபத்து அங்கிள்.
இதத்தானே சார் நெட்லயும் பண்றீங்க. உங்க பேங்க் அக்கவுண்ட் டீடைல்ஸ், ஏடிஎம் பின்லாம் உங்க பீரோ சாவி மாதிரி தானே சார். சோ நெட்ல எதனா வெரிஃபிகேஷன், லக்கி பிரைஸ் அதுன்னு ஆசை காட்டினாலும் சும்மா கொடுத்துறாதீங்க.
நேர்ல செய்ய மாட்டேன் நான் நெட்ல செய்ய மாட்டேன். நெட்ல செய்ய மாட்டேன். நெட்ல செய்ய மாட்டேன். நேர்ல செய்ய மாட்டேன் நான் நெட்ல செய்ய மாட்டேன். நெட்ல செய்ய மாட்டேன். நெட்ல செய்ய மாட்டேன். நம்பும்படி பிலா விட்டு கொம்ப நல்லா சீவி விட்டு வம்பையெல்லாம் வளர்த்து போட்டு திரியிற தம்பி திரியிற தம்பி திரியிற தம்பி. பூச்சாண்டி பாத்துருவா, குளவெறிய தோண்டிருவா, கம்பி என்ன வச்சிருவா. மாட்டுவ தம்பி தொக்கா மாட்டுவ தம்பி மாட்டுவ தம்பி.
இதத்தானே ப்ரோ நெட்லயும் பண்றீங்க. சும்மா லைக் ஷேர் அள்ளலாம்னு நீங்க ஷேர் பண்ற வெறுப்பு வதந்தி போஸ்டால ஊர்ல வன்முறையே வெடிக்கலாம். சோ நெட்ல யாரையும் உசுப்பேத்தி குளிர்காயங்க.
நேர்ல செய்ய மாட்டேன் நான் நெட்ல செய்ய மாட்டேன். நெட்ல செய்ய மாட்டேன். நெட்ல செய்ய மாட்டேன். நேர்ல செய்ய மாட்டேன் நான் நெட்ல செய்ய மாட்டேன். நெட்ல செய்ய மாட்டேன். நெட்ல செய்ய மாட்டேன்.
நெட்ல பூச்சாண்டிங்க உங்க பக்கத்திலே இருந்தாலும் இவ்வளவு ஈஸியாலாம் கண்டுபிடிக்க முடியாதுங்க. சோ நெட்டை உஷாரா யூஸ் பண்ணுங்க, உருப்படியா யூஸ் பண்ணுங்க. உங்கள் விழிப்புணர்வு கருதி அக்கறையுடன் வெளியிடுவோர்.
So this is a video which I wanted to play because it is also, combinedly released by Greater Chennai Police. So we had to have a, look at it. And just this last part of my presentation. See, I'm going to conclude with this particular saying by Justice Dr. D.Y. Chandrachud. He has rightly stated it that it is indispensable at this hour to change the domestic and international, legislations. And also quoting Lawrence Lessig, whom I had quoted initially, Lawrence Lessig had also stated that all of those technologies are to be treated separately and have to be very careful in understanding the cyber space, which is code again. And if we are, we'll have to look at it, at a much earlier stage, rather than the robots became superpower, before them suppressing us. We should try to equip ourselves through legislations and through careful guidelines or through careful awareness, in order to equip ourselves with the advancing technologies. Herewith, I end with just a simple quote from my end. Kindly have cyber hygiene followed in your life, and also spread it to all of whom kids and kin, whomever, try to to save children, try to avoid child pornography, try to report the cyber crimes as far as possible. And the last one, if you really if you're really confused with what is this crime about, is this hacking or is this something, do not worry, just go to a police station and just report it. They'll handle about the kinds of cyber crime, and district commissionerate in each district, they handle the cyber crime cell. They'll deal with all of your problems, so do not get worried about it. And thank you for giving me this opportunity. I'm open for any questions, and I'm really happy if I get any disagreements as well. Thank you. Any questions, you can post it even in the chat box. Let me check the chat box. Are there any questions, or was it too long for an evening? I can just give you my mail ID. You can even give me any mail or any clarification if you want. Thank you, Akshaya.
I think there are no questions, ma'am. You're absolutely clear.
Thank you, Shanmati. Sir,
Thank you,
are there
ma'am.
anything from my end, sir? Just a minute. Sir, Ranjit, sir, are there anything from my end to, complete, or any insights that I have
It was
missed?
really good. Only thing we are longing to
Thank you,
hear
sir.
you more. But today being an evening, we don't want to disturb you.
I know, I understand it, sir.
Yes,
Yes, sir.
we will surely
Yes,
invite
thank you,
you
sir.
again and again, because our university has started a specialization on cyber law by bringing this LLM department. So
Yes,
obviously,
sir.
we will
I'm so
be
happy about it, sir, because
tapping
when I
your
was doing my LLM from Jodhpur, NLU, that was the only one, department that we had in India. And having set this department in Tamil Nadu, I'm really so happy about it, sir. Thanks for it, sir. So there is a doubt. I'll just answer it, sir. There's a question from Dr. Deepa Lakshmi. Can you just tell how cyber awareness helps in legal awareness for women? It's common, right? You'll have to just add a term called a cyber law awareness. That's just simple, because it is very important only for vulnerable sector. Don't ask me why women and children are just vulnerable sector. Why can't men? Nowadays, it's also randomly changing even to men. Just wanted to focus greatly on women and children. This cyber law awareness, of course, it helps. When you have this legal awareness, you can include certain cyber hygiene factors within it. Okay, so that's very simple. Deepa Lakshmi ma'am. Thank you, Lavanya. Uh, Shanmati can go ahead. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for giving us a clear and a very deep insight on cyber crimes and taking us through the hard reality that we're facing around us. Thank you once again for your time, especially. Dr. Ranjit Oman Abraham is an idol of knowledge and experience. Those students are lucky enough to take class from him have always been amazed by his ability to make even the most complex concepts understandable. He has always been willing to mentor students and encouraging them to reach heights. Some of Sir's accomplishments include his service as a project leader for the FSTP project executed by the Tamil Nadu Dr. Ambedkar Law University and Tele Incorporation Germany, and visiting various law schools in USA on IPR and cyber law programs. He has also presented many papers in various seminars and conferences. With this note, I would like to request our Registrar, Sir, Dr. Ranjit Oman Abraham, to propose the vote of thanks.
thank you, Shanmati. So, for want of time constraints, I'd like to give a very short word of thanks. Firstly, I'd like to thank our Honorable Vice Chancellor for giving us this freedom to conduct a lot of programs, academic programs. Secondly, very importantly, I want to thank the speaker for the day, uh, DEEPA MANICKAM ma'am. She was really excellent in all the concepts which she has shared today. It was very informative, very useful. We can see a lot of views and feedback coming from the students who have participated today. Not only in the chat box. Already I got some messages from our students saying that ma'am should be brought in offline mode to our university to deliberate and also to give lectures on various topics related to cyber law. I like to tell many students who might not know that DEEPA MANICKAM ma'am was our faculty before joining Tamil Nadu National Law University. So it was obviously fortunate enough for the Tamil Nadu National Law University to get her, and we were unfortunate to miss her. But at the same time, the world is small, so we will surely bridge the distance, and we will surely connect with her through with help of technology, with help of various sources. And myself and ma'am have had a lot of discussions with regard to cyber law and other areas when she was working here. And in fact, I have learned a lot from her. Though she always says I am her mentor, I will never agree to that. She is really, when she came here itself, she was highly talented, and she had a lot of information connected to cyber law. So that's why when this was the first program of the department, I had no difference in thoughts. Immediately, I decided that we will invite DEEPA MANICKAM ma'am from Tamil Nadu National University to be the resource person. So you have the privilege of being the resource person for the first program of this new department, cyber law, cyberspace law and justice department, which has come here. So thank you really on behalf of the Vice Chancellor and all the staff, students, participants. I thank DEEPA MANICKAM ma'am. A special thanks to the committee members of Cyber Jagrukta Diwas, Raduka ma'am, Aishwarya ma'am, and also Haja Hasan sir. They were really great because they only arranged the brochure, they sent the message across to various participants, and also the post-program activities also they will be doing. So really special thanks to all my faculty members who have participated today, who have attended the session today. A special thanks to the students. And finally, last but not the least, to our compeer Kanmati for giving wonderful comparing for the program. That was the first program, the department. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. Shanmati, just a minute, okay? I would like to extend my thanks to respected Vice Chancellor, sir, Registrar, sir, RANJIT, sir, who's my mentor, and my esteemed faculty members and also dear students. Thank you for taking your time out during the evening. Thank you. I would like to see all of you in future to interact more. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir. Thank you, everyone, for joining us today. We shall end the session now. Thank you.
Feedback form is the feedback link is given in the chat box. Those who want to the feedback.